everybody? What's going on? Hope all is well. This is D, your boy D from DNC Digital, and I'm back with the last Instagram Live that we're going to be doing on the way to Hell Hath No Fury, presented by Mission Pro Wrestling, live in Buda, Texas, from Pinball's Kingdom, being streamed on the Title Match Network, officially sold out. Zachary, what's going on? Hope all is well. So today, and it's only fitting that we got the pride and the heart of Texas, the Prodigy Rok-C. She's been wrestling for a few years and she's only 18. And her story is just being written, and it's going to keep on going on for a long time. She's already accomplished so many things. She's a very, very driven young woman. She started when she was 13 or 14, started training for pro wrestling. And we're just waiting on her. I hope all is well. What's going on, everybody? See who's in the chat. I do want to thank Thunder Rosa. I want to thank Jeremiah. I want to thank Brian and Monica and the whole team. Everybody who's been doing the Instagram Lives. Brittany Nicole, Killer Kate, Promise Braxton, Vert Vixen, Jenna Lynn, Holidead. God, there's so many people that gave me their time to talk about their careers along with Mission Pro Wrestling and how important this show is. Because for those that don't know, if you haven't been keeping up, Mission Pro Wrestling is a wrestling promotion where every position is held by a woman. It's completely run by women. Thunder Rosa is at the helm. Hey, what's going on, Ray? How you been? Long time. Can I get the fan? What's going on, Ray? Hope all is well. Hope the kiddos are doing good. Just waiting on Rok-C to come on. There she is. So now we're going to be going live with the Heart and Pride, Heart and Soul of Texas. Miss Rok-C, you're going to be talking about her career in Mission Pro Wrestling. How you doing today?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm thankful that Texas got what they call a cold front, even though it's only like 70 something degrees. I grew up in cold weather, so I'm expecting colder weather than this. But I'm loving it though. I'm loving it because usually it feels like hell's waiting room in here.
Yeah, right.
It's Ray's daughter's birthday. Happy birthday, little one.
Happy birthday.
So thanks so much for giving me the time. And like I said all over social media when I was promoting this, it's only right that my last Instagram Live is with you because you are literally the heart and pride of Texas. I've been following you for, I want to say about a year and a half. And I've just been seeing your growth. And she's 6 years old. Awesome. Happy 6 years old to the little one. So it's been fun seeing your growth and seeing how far you've come in such a short amount of time. And it's crazy that you're only 18 and you've already accomplished so much. So I want to congratulate you on all your success so far and for all your future success. So I want to start from the beginning because I looked you up. I did a little bit of research, is what I do when I get interviews. So I know that your favorite wrestler was The Rock, and it was mostly because you were watching a lot of his movies, including The Game Plan, which is your favorite Rock movie. So when it comes to other wrestlers that stepped into the world of Hollywood, who do you think has done a good job?
At the top of my head, I can't think. Oh, well, John Cena, obviously. He's done.
Cena has done good, yeah.
He's done very well. Who else? Who else has?
I would say Batista. He's, as far as success, I would say he's right behind The Rock. John Cena is on his way. I recently just saw, what is it called? The one where he's a fireman.
Oh, I know which one you're talking.
The name escapes me right now.
He's like
Yeah,
steady.
but it was actually pretty good. He played the straight man, and he played a ridiculous character, but it was actually good. Oh, the Miz and the 11 Marine movies that he's done. I'm sure he did well, but I didn't watch any of them. So you talk about The Rock, and you talk about AJ Lee also being somebody that you've looked up to um, in professional wrestling. So you decided like very young. So as a person who's a young girl and having a dream and an aspiration, how do you stick with that rather than just get a 9 to 5 job?
Um, I don't know. It's funny that you say that because I remember when I was younger, and I would always tell my family members like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be a wrestler when I'm older," and I was like 10, throwing that around, and everybody was just like, "Okay, yeah, like she'll grow out of that," and I just never did, and a lot of people do because I ran into someone and they had said, uh, I think they were talking to my mom and they were like, "It's so crazy. That was like a dream when I was little, but I just kind of like it and put it to the side and like gone with like the norm, I guess you could say. Um,
Right.
but I don't know. I guess I just had like this crazy passion for it, and it just never went away. And at a very young age, I was like, I want to start my journey, and so I did. And then I just kept on and kept on, and now I'm here. So.
In a past interview, you talk about doing a lot of sports, a lot of activities, trying to find something that you can have a passion for. It's funny because they talk about pro wrestling. They say it's not ballet, but you actually did ballet for a little bit, and you ended up hating it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Um I did it for a little bit when I was younger, and I think I did it when I was like 10, 11, and then I tried it again because I don't know why I wanted to try out for like the high school dance team for a little bit. I was like, I can try that. So I did that. I went back to ballet for a little bit, hated it again, and I was just like, yeah, this is just not for me.
Hey, so I wanted to know when you started professional wrestling training, you were so young. You were still a tiny little kid. Was it difficult to be taken seriously when you were training?
um, Not so much because I mean at first when I first walked in they were like, huh? But
They were
luckily,
ready to just sign some autographs and send you on your way.
right. But the two guys that first started training, they took me pretty serious, and I guess just because that first day they just wanted to see like, is this chick gonna stick around? And I was so serious about it, so serious about it. So like they saw that, like they saw the passion I had, and they saw I was taking it serious, especially at a young age. That's like hard. Um, I was like still in like middle school, high school. And that's the time where like you want to be hanging out with friends and like skipping practice to go to party. And I didn't. I was always at practice. During like Christmas breaks and spring breaks, that's when I would travel to Houston to train with Booker when I first started, when I wasn't even on the shows yet, actually.
Yeah. So, that's one thing I wanted to bring up. What's one of the things that you do not miss about riding those Greyhounds up to Houston?
A lot of things. uh, the smell, like I remember I would like purposely kind of like go to the back to get like an empty seat because normally people wouldn't really sit back there. So I would sit back there hoping nobody would like sit next to me, and then someone would end up sitting next to me, and I was like, um, but I mean, it wasn't that bad. I feel like I like driving now. I like driving now. It's way better than having to
Because
like.
because now you're driving yourself. You're not asking for rides. You're not picking up Greyhounds. You're not.
Yeah,
Those drives are all you.
I'm not surrounded by like tons and tons of like strangers that I don't like know. So,
So speaking about driving, what's some of the music that you like to listen to on the road?
um, my playlist is like everywhere. Like I listen to everything, honestly, everything. Like rock, pop, country, even everything.
That's awesome. So in a past interview, you spoke about how, your parents weren't present because they were so busy with the rest of your family. You come from a large family. You have
Mhm.
four other sisters, I believe, or three other sisters?
Mhm. Three, four.
Four other sisters. Okay. So your parents weren't able to be there for your training. And, so is there anybody when you started that took over that parenthood role and really took care of you and somebody that you felt protected with and you stuck with?
Yeah, so his name is actually George Benitez. He's like he was one of my first trainers when I was here when I started like when I was 13. He's one of the ones who's been very but yeah, he was like he's like my big brother. He's actually a local wrestler here in Laredo, and he would take me to my shows. He took very good care of me, and he was also like very close with my parents, so it was like they knew I was okay, and that's what like they needed. So yeah, I will always like give him so much props because he did like so much. Until eventually, obviously, it was like, okay, he can't like he has a job too, so he couldn't take me to all my shows. So that's when I was like, okay, like, um, maybe I should start taking Greyhounds. It actually the Greyhound started as a joke at first. My mom would like joke around about my family would joke around about it, be like, throw her on a Greyhound. And then like I would just laugh about it, and then after a while I was like, I mean, that could work.
That
And
might, yeah, I might have to do a Greyhound. I might have to do a Greyhound. Yeah.
I made rounds around Texas by Greyhound.
So, like I said at the top of the interview, you've accomplished so much, and you're only 18. Do you feel like having these awesome matches with big names and high pressure situations kind of prepares you for the real world in your adult life?
For sure, yeah. Yeah, because I feel like with every match, like no matter who it is, I feel like I always learn something new. So the fact that I'm able to like be put against all of these wrestlers that have like paved the way for me, like Thunder Rosa, Blanchard, Jazz, like that. I feel like that is like so. I don't take it for granted, um, because it does it has molded me, and I feel like it's gonna continue to mold me. So yeah, I'm super grateful for that.
That's awesome. And now, all these names, you're still a kid. And I know, when you get to the shows, you can shake hands, you got to be professional. And you're working together, your dance partners and coworkers and putting on this show. But was there an opponent or somebody you ran into that you're like, oh my God, you kind of lost your cool, you kind of fangirled over it?
Um, I feel like Jazz, like just like inside, like I was kind of like, it's Jazz, like what?
Yeah.
Like not born debuted, like that is crazy.
Wow.
Like yeah, I kind of like inside I was like, oh wow, that's Jazz, and I was like, okay, snap out of
Yeah,
it.
when I interviewed Jazz, I want to say a week ago or a week and a half ago for, to promote Mission Pro Wrestling. And we were messaging each other on Twitter. She's like, you know what? Here's my number because I don't want to miss any messages. And me, I was like, okay, yeah, cool. And then she started texting me. She's like, hey, what's up? And what day is this gonna be? And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's this day. And she's become so cool. And I showed her a picture because I met her when I was 16, and that was, oh God, that was 18 years ago. So I met her when I was 16 at an autograph session. I'm like, never did I think that we would just become, buddies. And it's Jazz,
Yeah.
and she's a very intimidating woman. But I loved her for giving me her time. Um, so you what do I have here? I need some context because I was looking through your social media, and I need you to explain what was senior week costume.
Senior
You were
weeks.
dressed up holding some maracas, and I want to know what that was about. What's the story behind the maracas?
Well, senior week is like a whole week dedicated to seniors where they just have fun. So we have a whole week of just dressing up. So one day it's you dress up all around the world, and then another day it's character day. Another day is blast from the past. Sorry, blast from the past, stuff like that. So it's like you dress up, and then the last Friday that senior. So the maracas, that was for, I believe that was for all around the world.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, we were like flamingo dancers.
So you didn't you've been streamed on the Title Match Network. You've been on all these great shows, but some people don't know unless they look into your social media that you were actually on Total Divas. You were standing outside a show, and Natalia was nice enough to walk around, and she was signing autographs, and they got you saying you were dead set on being a diva. Now they are not divas anymore, but they are WWE superstars as they should be called. Can you tell me about that moment and how that felt and what kind of and how did she react when you told her that?
uh, so that was really cool. Especially because I was like, I think I had just started training, and at first it was the Bella twins that came over, and then Natalia came over, and I was like so starstruck. I was like, oh, like I'm starting to train. Do you guys have any advice? And they were so nice about it. They were just like, be careful. They gave me a lot of really good advice. I remember Bree had told me um, to not get discouraged. My first few matches will be not the best, but to not get discouraged because wrestling takes a while. To this day, I keep that in the back of my like I'll feel like, oh, that match was like the best. I'll be like, okay, like I always have that in the back of my head. Okay, like I'm okay. Like
You're like, it's okay. Brie Bella told me I'll be fine. It's cool.
right, I'm like, she said I'll be fine. I'll just keep it.
So, seeing how you carry that advice with you throughout your entire career, and you were so young, how do you feel about paying it forward? How do you feel about these young girls going to these shows and seeing you, and they're like, "Wow, she's so young. I can do it too." Talk about that platform that you have that you can inspire little girls as well.
That's honestly, I always talk about how that's probably my favorite part of all of this is the fact that I get to inspire a younger generation, because it is so crazy to me every time a young girl or a young boy comes up to me and they're like, oh my gosh, like because of you, um, I was motivated to go after my dream of becoming a wrestler, or because of you, um, I was able to get out of like a depression, and because of you, like, and that's so crazy to me because I was once that young girl, that young kid, like looking up to my favorite wrestlers and like, okay, they did it, so I know one day I can do it. So that is, I don't know, I feel like that's probably like one of the things I can do in life is just like inspire a whole like batch of young kids. Like I don't know, that's my
No, I'm sure you can because it's still crazy to me. I tell my girlfriend, I'm like, she's only 18 and she's already been wrestling. She's like the female Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio's been wrestling since he was like 6, and like I feel like you're on your way. And I genuinely wish you the best of luck. And it's so cool to talk to you. Um, so not only Total Divas wasn't the only thing under the WWE banner that you were a part of. Your mom was a dancer. I know that much, right?
yes.
Okay, so did she give you any tips when you were into No Way Jose's conga line?
No, she didn't. Dang, she should have, right?
You should have.
Yeah. I didn't.
What was that like backstage? And did they say just go nuts and go have fun, or
basically, basically, yeah. They were like, go dance. um, that was that was super fun. It was a really good experience. Um, I remember, like, of course, yeah, it's, you know, it's like, oh, she's just in the conga line. But to me, it was like so much more than that, because I remember like walking out, um, like into the crowd, and I was just like, whoa,
Yeah,
like,
tell me what that's like when you step on stage, because that's I feel like that's everybody's dream perspective. Like, what's it like coming out on stage? You see the arena, and then you're down by the ring, and you got that perspective of looking around, and you see the crowd.
it was it was awesome. I just trying to soak in like every single second that I could, um, because I was just like, this is where I want to end up. So the fact that I got like that little taste of it, it was amazing, because it was just so weird. I remember being on the other side of it and like just wishing I could be there, and then I was like standing there and just watching everything. It was like so it was crazy.
You know, you mentioned that a lot of people are like, "Oh, it was just a conga line," but if you look back, a lot of the biggest stars today were like Adam Rose's Rosebuds.
Yeah,
Um, I
recognize.
remember, yeah, like Braun Strowman said that he got noticed because of being a Rosebud. He's like, they gave me an opportunity. I was out there, and I just took advantage and made the best of it. I got a question here. Let's see what's up. Uh, okay, I don't know what that is. It was just a dancing emoji. But
Oh,
anybody in the chat, I got Roxy. She's the Diamonds champion for Reality of Wrestling. That's something I want to talk about too. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to go ahead and leave any. I don't see any. Oh, one I saw earlier was saying, when are you going to go to WWE NXT and beat Io Shirai?
oh, that would be really cool. That would be really
Io
cool.
Shirai has really shown like she's one of the best in the world.
Yeah, she's so she I feel like she'd be one of my dream matches. She's
That's
amazing.
awesome. So you were 2019 breakout star of the year, excuse me, a reality of wrestling.
Yeah.
Um, is that an added pressure? Or you feel like that's a responsibility that you need to carry and now show newer students?
Um, I don't. Yeah, yeah. I don't feel it like too much like pressure. Uh, I feel more like a, how do I say it? Like I'm doing the right things. Like I I'm on the right
Like
path.
a step in validation.
Yes, yes. Yes.
I have Jake Larson asking, who was your favorite opponent to wrestle?
Mm, it would either have to be um Hyon or Kylie Ray.
Yeah, both good friends of yours, right?
Yes, yes.
Were you in that match where Pikachu was super kicked?
Yes, that was me against Kylie.
That was you against Kylie, yeah. And
Yeah.
Kylie, you know, she's also gone on her way and she's doing big things and she's had some really cool stuff to say about you. Can you talk about the support that you've gotten from Kylie Ray?
She's freaking amazing. Since I first started, I was like 16. She always had so much faith in me. Like she saw something that not a lot of other people. And she always rooted for me. Um, like you know, there's that saying, uh, you need friends that will talk about you opportunities, and she is like that friend. She's and no matter like no matter where she goes, like the opportunities she gets, she never forgets where she came from. She never forgets like the people that need that help or need that like stepping stone, or she's awesome, like in the ring.
Uh,
And
I have Isaiah Smith. How many times did you work out at Reality Wrestling and keep up with school? Oh, well, I guess the question is, how did you keep up with school and doing Reality Wrestling? How many times a week would you go and train over there?
um well, I was there like every month for the show, and then I would stay for like a couple of weeks to train. um Now I go like as maybe like uh, uh, 2 weeks or 3 weeks out of the month. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
It's hours from here, so I go when I can. Usually, I'll go like the week before the show is, and I'll that week. So
Nick, what happened to Tessa Blanchard? That's a question for her. But I know you guys are close. Talk about. I know Daga and Tessa Blanchard have been. You guys have been really close. You were you there when she won the world title?
yes, I was there.
So how was that when she was coming to the back and being there for her?
I was so happy for her. That I feel like that moment was like super emotional because I feel like a lot of people do say that she is where she is because of her name, but she has had to like work so hard for that. Like it's not just her name, like she has had to work very hard. So that moment was very special to her, and I remember we were like with her family um in the front, like when she like won. And I remember her family was like they like jumped up and were like crying, and it was like I don't know. I oh, I'm always like so happy when another wrestler like succeeds, or like even when you see like the family reacts, because I know like my family would react the same way,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's so cool to like see those moments in wrestling for just anybody. So that was really cool.
She definitely like led a whole. She was like a trailblazer. She knocked down an entire barrier to become world champion. Standing there, along with being happy for your friend and mentor. How did you feel as a female wrestler watching this happen?
That was a really, really, really important moment for, yeah, I feel like a lot of women, because, um, like she won, like that had never happened.
Yeah, of course. No, yeah, never happened.
So that was really to not just happen, but be able to like witness it, um, because obviously that's like a moment that's history forever, um, and who knows, maybe that will change a lot of things. Maybe it won't. Maybe it will.
But it definitely made noise, and it
Definitely
changed enough for her to become world champion.
for sure.
I have Anthony, favorite wrestlers, male and female, growing up. I'm guessing that's Rock and AJ, right?
Yeah, I had like a lot of favorites. I was really into CM Punk, um, Randy Orton. I liked him a lot. Mm.
Doesn't everybody?
I was a big fan of Dean Ambrose too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have Chloe. I don't know what that is. Who do you look up to as a wrestler?
Um,
I guess maybe a current wrestler that you're watching and you're.
a current wrestler. I really like Alexa Bliss. I
Oh, okay.
the way she wrestles, and like I don't know, I feel like she doesn't do too much like crazy stuff in the ring, but she always makes you feel something, you know?
I just feel like her facial expressions are some of the top ones in the business.
Sure.
I'll
Sure.
never forget. We were watching. Oh, I want to say it was Elimination Chamber. Yeah, the Elimination Chamber, and she won. And with the fans, I mean, she's a heel, but she was still respected. So she won the Elimination Chamber, and they started chanting, "You deserve it, you deserve it." And she got emotional, and they were doing the post-match interview, and she did the whole "Fight for Your Dreams" and the whole "Little Girls Can Watch," and then she went complete heel and flipped it, and she's like, "No one will ever be," and she did the whole head nod and everything. And I stood up in my living room and I clapped because I'm like, she had me right there. I was watching and I was so happy for her. She was getting all emotional, and I'm like, oh my gosh, she just blew all of us away.
She's
Hey, can you? I saw a cool I saw a cool picture and I feel like you're in a certain club that not many people are a part of. Can you tell me about the time the fan had you hold a 50-pound hammer?
Oh, yeah, that was at bar wrestling. That was so random. That was
I looked him up, and on his profile, there's just a bunch of people holding the hammer.
yeah. It was my first time there. I was there at my merch table, and he just came up to me and was like, "Hey, you did really good out there. Can you hold this hammer and can I take a picture of you?" And I was like, "Sure."
Yeah, why not? Sure, I'll hold your hammer.
It was heavy. It was really heavy. I don't know. It was like 50 pounds or something. It was.
It's really cool to see you guys interact with your fans. One interaction I saw was really, I didn't, it wasn't a video, but it was a picture of the video. Rachel Rose was at a show, and then a young kid told her that I guess they were a big fan of you, or maybe you were supposed to be there that night, and she actually FaceTimed you. So, what was your reaction when you picked up the phone and she's like, "Hey, I got this kid here"?
So she texted me first, and she was like, "Hey, there's this little girl. She had her Roxy sign and all." She said that she was sad because you weren't at the show. So can I FaceTime you? And I was like, yeah, definitely. I wasn't booked for that show, but she just like the little girl assumed I'd be there. I felt so bad. Like, oh, I wish I could have been there. But she was so excited when I answered the phone. Um, I love moments like that. I love like that.
That's a total one in a million thing that she's gonna remember.
Right?
And God willing, she can go to one of your shows one day, and then you guys will already be best friends, and she's gonna have this story to tell her friends and make them all
I
jealous.
always try to interact with my fans as much as I can and like give them moments like that because I remember how badly I wanted those moments when I was like that age. I remember like um getting mentioned in a tweet by one of my favorite wrestlers. I would freak out and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool." And I would like tell my friends and um or if I met my favorite wrestler or whatever it was, I remembered that feeling of just being so excited. And so I always try to the fact is so important. Like
Yeah.
that's why we're here. So I personally I think that it's super important to interact with the fans, make sure to like talk to them and
I got Colton James Foster. Who is your dream match opponent, male and female?
hi Colton. He's a super like avid fan for Row.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he's always at the
That's
shows.
awesome.
He's a little boy. He has like blonde hair. He's who is your dream match opponent? Um, hmm, like anyone, like past and present.
Sure. I guess let's do all time, and then we'll do one current one, I guess.
Okay. All time age. I would want to wrestle. I would want to wrestle her so
Oh
bad.
yeah, that's right. You said that in an interview that you'd love to, if you'd ever come back, you'd love to have that match.
Male. It would. I'm not sure if it would ever happen, but Randy Orton. I would love to.
I will take the RKO no matter where.
I think he's so good. Like he's such a good wrestler.
I
Like
was
even
I used to train in South Texas, and I would take my girlfriend out to the shows, so I would learn a lot from the guys just watching them, and so he's a perfect example of minimal effort. That's what I was taught, like minimal effort. He's so slow, but it makes sense. Like it all makes sense, and
yes,
and when it comes to his heel work, he's just insanely good, and his mic work. I can see why you were such a big fan.
definitely, yeah, yeah.
Um, so I want to talk about you winning the Diamonds Championship with Reality of Wrestling.
Yeah.
Um, it's one of those moments that you want to watch over and over again because you see what it meant. You totally see what it meant. You were getting emotional, and and rightfully so, and the crowd was going nuts. Um, can you tell me about that moment and how the emotions were going through you, and if you felt a release when the match was done?
Yes, yes. Um, that was a really cool moment because I'm sure you've heard me say it maybe, but I had wanted to be a part of Row and like there since I was like 10.
Yeah.
So I had always said that once I turned 18, I would start training reality wrestling. And then I won the Diamonds Champion at 18, the Diamonds Championship at 18. So that was just like, I don't know, it's crazy the way like the world works. like that was just so special. And the fact that I knew how hard I had worked for it. Like I said earlier, there was people that like didn't take me serious because I was so young. So
Right.
kind of hard for me. Like it messed with me mentally because it was just like, oh, like I know I'm like younger, but I promise I want this just as bad as anybody else that's older and in the same business that I'm in. So I got on Greyhounds. I went to go train. I didn't have like a for sure spot in the show, but that didn't stop me. And I ended up making history and becoming the youngest Diamonds champion. So that was a very cool moment.
Not only the youngest Diamonds champion, but you were the youngest champion in the entire promotion.
Yeah, yeah.
What was your wrestling dad, Booker T? What was his reaction when you went to the back?
He was very proud. He was very proud. Uh, he actually talked to me the last show and uh, actually made it a point to like talk to me and tell me he was very proud because I've come away and went grown. So that was really like that was like whoa, because it's still Booker T. So
Here's a really good question. Thanks, Jake. That's a really good one. You talk a lot about mental health. What's one thing you like to do when you're feeling down?
um, what's one
Great
thing?
question. Great question.
That is a very good question. Um, so I do write in a journal. I try when I can to write in a journal. I do live with like 6 other people, 5 other people. So I love to hang out with my family when I'm like feeling a little down. Um, I'm glad that I have like that. Um, listen to music. I really like to listen to music when I'm not feeling like my best. Or work out. That helps a lot. Get like all that stress out.
Uh, you're so young, and being in the public eye, kind of adds another layer to it. Um, and with the whole speak out movement thing going on, how difficult can it be for somebody in the professional wrestling business when it comes to mental health? I know that there's a brotherhood and a sisterhood within the wrestling community. I know that much because I got friends that still treat me like a brother, even though I'm not training anymore. But with that being said, is there an unspoken understanding that it's okay to be vulnerable, or do most people keep it inside?
Mm, I mean, I feel like it's not even just in the wrestling business. I feel like it's just a thing like everywhere that there is like still this stigma around mental health that not a lot of people want to talk about it. A lot of people feel like they shouldn't talk about it or they can't because they're gonna be made fun of or because it's I guess not normalized. But I don't know. I feel like we should really be talking about it more. And I try to really use my platform since I do have a platform.
Yeah.
It's still growing, but I feel like if we have a platform, we should be using it for good. So I know how hard it was for my family. We my luckily my parents are very um open about like mental health and they're okay with therapy but I know that's like not always the case. So I try as much as I can to talk about mental health, even if it's just like sharing something on my story, just so like people that follow me can know that if they're struggling or if they don't feel okay or their parents may not be open to talking about mental health or something, like I just want them to know that it is okay.
Yeah, like
Because
after I attended therapy, I realized like, man, everybody needs therapy. Everybody just needs to, not
right.
in a bad way. Everybody needs to just talk, like let it
And
all
I
out.
don't even, yeah, and I don't even think like you don't even have to be depressed to go to
No,
therapy.
you don't.
Like
No.
you don't. Like it's I just feel like it's okay to just like talk. Like
I
just
feel like
talk to
it's such an
someone.
open conversation. And when they say like, oh, he's going to therapy, I'm like, yeah, show me the perfect brain. Show me the perfect mind. It's
Right?
what are you doing?
Right? Right?
I got some great questions here in the chat. Jake Larson, thank you for that question. That was great. I have Jay Alfaro, 8969. What advice do you give to anyone that wants to get in the ring?
I would say start going to the gym. Um, start getting your body physically ready, because I feel like that'll help a lot, because with like all the bumps and all that stuff, it's way harder than you think. Because
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I have a lot of dogs.
No, that's okay.
um yeah, it's way harder than you think, especially like cardio wise. um Obviously, like not everybody is like 100% ready when they come into wrestling training,
No,
but
I
it
know
would
that
help.
for sure.
It would help to just like start. I actually got into tumbling classes before I started training, so that helped me a lot actually, because there is like a lot of roles involved, and if you want to be flippy, that tumbling will help you. um, so yeah.
I was I've learned that no matter what you look like, you can look like Otis or you can look like Randy Orton. But if you can't go more than 4 minutes in the ring, you're done. And I remember going to training and I was like so ready. And so I learned, you learn bumps and you learn the shoulder block, takedown, and all that stuff, the hip toss and all that. But at one training session, we were supposed to do an up and over and then run to the other corner and do another up and over into the ring and do rolls. I was done. I was done. And I learned the hard way, and much respect to anybody who's a wrestler, because that training is like no other. Um,
Yeah.
I got Isaiah Smith. I didn't know this at first, but when I went to Reality of Wrestling Ladies Night Out 5, when I seen you in the ring, it was amazing. I didn't know you were only 16. It was inspired. It was incredible, and you inspired me. That was Isaiah
Aw,
Smith.
thank you, thank you. I'm glad.
So I had a question that came up when I was writing all my notes down. You started when you were 13, 14, and you're 18 now, and you became champion. So you got a long career ahead of you. Um, Seeing that you started early, are you learning how to have longevity in your career as far as your body goes, or is there any fear that you might retire early from so many bumps?
Um, Both. I feel like it's like a mixture of both.
Yeah,
I try as much as I can to be careful and not do so much of like all the crazy stuff that these guys are doing out there.
yeah.
Because I am young and I do want my career to last a really long while. Um, like like the whole situation with Paige, that's pretty scary, because
Oh,
we
she
started
was
around
so
like the
young,
same
and she and
age.
she she was also
Yeah.
a kid, wrestling. She was so young that she had to retire, and that was a damn shame.
Yeah, yeah. So it is scary. I mean, I feel like it's scary for any wrestler. There's always, always, always a possibility of something going wrong. But I feel like that's just like a risk we take because we love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do try as much as I can to be pretty careful. Um, yeah.
Hey, so I saw you went to Chicago. What was your favorite food over there?
Oh. I went to Portillo's and they
Okay.
had a chocolate cake shake. And that was so good. It's legit like a chocolate shake with like chocolate cake chunks in it. It
Oh
is
my God.
amazing. It's amazing.
Okay, I'm originally from the East Coast, and you know Jersey and New York and Chicago have a rivalry when it comes to pizza. We have the
Okay.
thin crust, and they have that bowl of cheese they call deep dish. But the chocolate cake shake sounds pretty damn good.
It is
Jake
really good. I
Larson,
was
I can't wait
supposed
till you
to.
come back here. I guess Jake Larson saw you in Chicago, maybe. Says I can't wait till you come back here to Chicago again.
Oh, yes, I can't wait. I was originally supposed to go back in June, I believe, June or July. But the whole pandemic happened and I was pretty sad. But I will definitely be back once like all the travel restrictions ease up and
One thing I
stuff.
always like to talk to people about is food, especially if you're well traveled. So,
I love food.
um, if we go to an LWA show, and we have some time to kill before the show, where would you suggest that we go eat?
Um, there's not a lot of options in Laredo,
Oh,
honestly.
really?
Yeah. I mean, our Mexican food is pretty good since we're like right by the border.
Right, right, right.
So maybe like one of those Mexican restaurants. We have a place called Tacos Kissy here. That's pretty good.
I got a question from Christian. What's more hard, MMA or wrestling?
I've never tried MMA, so I really can't say.
Cliff Smalling. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
um, I don't know. Whenever I get asked that question, I
Hmm.
always I never know what to say because I'm always trying to I kind of freak out when I think of the future. Obviously, I hope and pray that I'm still wrestling, I'm still healthy.
Right.
Hopefully, maybe signed to my one of my dream promotions or something.
Hmm.
But I really like to live in the present and kind of just enjoy my journey. Um, I feel like that's ob- obviously getting to your destination is amazing, right? But I feel like the journey is what you'll remember.
I think Psycho Ray kind of answered your question for you. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? He said being 23 years old.
Yeah, yeah.
Jay Alfaro, another question. Best pizza in Laredo, Sal's or San Bernardo?
I actually don't think I've tried either of those.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't think I've tried either. Where are they located so I can try them?
Yeah, definitely put on the comments where they're located so you can go try it. So
Yeah.
I know that you have a YouTube channel, um, and YouTube is a real cool platform. I'm the one that I use it a lot. That's my central hub. All my stuff goes back to YouTube, and you can see all my stuff. Quick plug, anybody watching, DNC Digital on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and do all that stuff. So, looking back when you were just a kid, can you think about that one YouTube channel, or excuse me, that one YouTube video that got you hooked and you probably watched it over and over again?
Like a wrestling YouTube video?
Oh no, any YouTube video, yeah.
Mm,
When you started using YouTube, what was the big video back then?
uh, I remember. I remember the Charlie bit my finger video
Charlie bit my
on
finger. I remember
YouTube.
that one.
I remember
Yeah,
that one. That was funny. Um, I don't know.
I
I
think
was
that was
just
like one
watching
of the
some.
first viral videos.
Yeah, right. I think so.
So we're coming at the tail end of this interview. Again, I want to thank you for all your time. It's been so much fun.
Thank you for
So
having
you're
me.
you're facing your oh no, it was an honor and a pleasure. So you're facing Jenna Van Musselt in just 3 days,
Yes.
and she is a very intimidating looking woman. It's a classic David and Goliath. You are the heart and pride of Texas. What are you expecting from this match?
Um. Well, the last time that I wrestled at Mission Pro Wrestling, I won my first championship there at 17. and I was in a match against 3 other people. So it was me against Alex, Gracia, Christy James, and Gino Medina. So, I mean, if I can beat all 3 of them, I'm pretty sure I can beat Jenna Van Muscles.
Very nice. I keep telling everybody, the closer we get to the show, the more important I realize it is. Every position is held by a woman in this wrestling promotion. How important is this show and Mission Pro Wrestling for the future of women's wrestling?
I think it's so important, and I love what Thunder Rosa is doing, because if I'm not mistaken, this is the first all women's promotion ever.
Yeah, yeah.
From like the production in the back to everybody in the ring to announcers to the commentary. So I think that's so cool, because I mean, obviously, women were not taken so seriously a long time ago. So to see it go from like one match on the card where these women had like 3 minutes, and then now we're having a whole show with
Right.
like all women's. The woman is main event, the woman is the opening match. Like, that is so freaking cool. And hopefully, it'll be the start for like more all women's promotions, or even like it doesn't even have to be all women's promotion, but as long as like there is a woman in a certain position of power or whatever, I feel like that would be really important for women's wrestlers.
You know, it was probably 4 or 5 years ago that they started doing their women's evolution in professional wrestling. We spoke about Tessa Blanchard. You look back, you think of Hillary Clinton running for president, and the women's U.S. soccer team, and Ronda Rousey becoming one of the biggest draws in UFC history. Why do you think it feels weird to ask this at this age and in the year 2020, but why do you think it took society this long to consider women in entertainment, or in general, really, to be equals?
I don't know. I feel like, you know, things are always a certain way, and then I feel like people just think that since it was this way, um, in during this time period, then
Yeah.
that means that it has to continue to be like that. And there's even people now, like in 2020, that still have that mindset, or still think that women shouldn't be main event, or women shouldn't have there shouldn't be an all women's promotion. And I feel like it's just like breaking that cycle. Um, you know, I feel like just with anything, it's always about like breaking the cycle, and especially with I never understood it. I remember at a very small promotion that I attended a long time ago. Um, I was like maybe like 15 or 14, but I remember one of there was one women's match on the card, and right before the woman walked out, the announcer was like, "Oh, are you guys ready for some eye candy?" And that like just like struck
Oh,
a
and
nerve,
so
because
instead of
I was
that
just
totally
like,
made us think I should be looking at this woman's body instead of
right?
really looking at her ability.
I was like, did he just say that? I was like, wow, like I don't know. So I don't know why it took so long, but I'm glad it's happening now, because I
Yeah.
feel like it is so important, and I feel like people really, really, really need to see women's wrestlers as not eye candy, and not just something pretty they're watching on TV, but as a athlete, a wrestler, good wrestlers, because there's so many good women's wrestlers.
Jay Alfaro, he put something really nice, and I just wanted you to hear it. He says, "I just have to say that I love WWE and wrestling in general, and I'm a fan of a lot of wrestlers, but you are one of my idols."
Aw, thank you so much. That means a lot.
Hey, so earlier we spoke about the longevity of your career, and you look back at Triple H, Chris Jericho, Undertaker. They all tweaked something, you know, to reinvent themselves or to keep themselves fresh. Have you already started thinking about those pit stops that you have to be like I should probably change this, or I should probably add that move to my moveset. Or
Yeah, I feel like I'm always trying to make something better, I'm always trying to evolve. So I'm super open to critiques after all of my matches.
Mhm.
I never take that to heart. I love even hearing from like some of the fans. Like
I was
I
about to
always
ask
want
you
to
that.
hear
How do you feel about critiques from fans that haven't stepped in a ring? Are you trying to look at it from their perspective as a fan, or is it when they start talking about wrestling that you're kind of like, okay, well, hold on right there.
I like to hear their perspective on certain things. When I feel like certain fans just try to do it out of like hate. You can tell, you can kind of tell like when um like there's like these trolls on Twitter that are trying to like critique, but they're just doing it out of hate, and you can tell they're doing it out of hate. And those I'm kind of like, okay, why? but but I love critiques from everywhere. I just always want to be better.
That's good. So, Miss Roxy, let them know where they can find you on social media, um, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
So my Instagram is _ROKC. My Twitter is at the Roxy _. My Facebook is Roxy, so ROK-C. And then I have a YouTube channel. I need to get better at posting on there because I haven't posted on there in a while. But that is under Roxy. You can see like my old matches. But if you want to see any of my recent matches, you can just search Roxy. Or most of my matches are on Reality of Wrestling on YouTube. So yes.
Awesome. And if you are on this live now and you're following Roxy, click on my name up here, DNC Digital. If you're one of my followers, click up there on Roxy and make sure you follow her. This is also going to be on YouTube, so make sure you like, comment, and you make sure you subscribe. All I need is subscriptions. That's it. Follows and subscriptions make me look good. I try hard and I work hard on these interviews, so that's
Yes,
all
go
I do. So
subscribe.
Mission Pro Wrestling, Hell Hath No Fury. September 18th, in just 3 days, this Friday, on the Title Match Network. You can watch it being streamed because if you haven't bought any tickets, it's completely sold out. You got Roxy against Jenna Van Muscles. You got Bert Vixen and Jenna Lynn against Killer Kate and Promise Braxton. You got the NWA Championship match, Women's Championship match between Thunder Rosa and Lindsay Snow, along with a whole bunch of other awesome matches. Colton said he is happy to see you.
I miss you, Colton.
Awesome. You can tell that Roxy has a lot of fans, a lot of support, so she is on her way. I want to thank you again, Roxy, for taking the time out to talk to us. And I guess that would be it. Oh, somebody said what's in the cup? It's orange soda. That's all it is. It's orange soda.
Oh, Kiefer said, "How's my Moxie?" He's not. She's not your Moxie. That's my dog.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't. He calls her ugly. So.
I got Sinatra and I got Bailey. My daughter named her Bailey because that was her favorite wrestler at the time.
Aww. I named my dog Moxie after John Moxley.
After John Moxley?
But she's a girl, so I just took out the L. Like,
nice. Beautifully done. Thank you so much. Everybody, be safe. Wear your masks. Have a great night. And we will see you Friday, September 18th. Mission Pro Wrestling. Make sure you follow Roxy. Check out her YouTube. Check out all her social medias. Everybody have a great night. I'm out.